Ladies and gentlemen, fantasy enthusiasts and lovers of all things epic, prepare yourselves for a Dungeons & Dragons experience like no other. I am your host and Master of Ceremonies, Dane, affectionately known as DMDBI. I'll be the Dungeon Master tonight, bringing you an experience to your screens. With decades of experience and a dash of spastic energy, they say I am the pun-slinging wizard of the realm. Now the story begins. Joining me on this epic quest is Megan, playing Calcine, the fiery business genius and Barbarian Bacon's fierce leader. A barbarian in the streets and a business wizard behind the scenes. This fire ganassi is so hot she could forge her own weapons. Get ready for a smoldering warrior like no other. Now let's talk about Tim, the man with the beard of legends and the adamantine armor to match. Magvarus is his name, and when he's not channeling divinity to purge hordes of monsters, he might be eyeing the loot with a tithe in mind. With Magvarus, it's not just might, it's might makes right, and he's here to claim what's his. Behold, Max, the half-elven warrior who goes by the name of Roland. With flowing dark hair and shimmering armor, he's the embodiment of grace and violence. He's invisible one moment, and the next his flail is singing a deadly tune. He's ready for a dance of blades and shadows. Next in our band is the hero played by Cameron, an Eladrin with the magical bow, a rogue with green skin and purple hair. With the power to shoot an extra arrow in the blink of an eye, Josara is a force to be reckoned with, and she's about to make her mark on the realm. But wait, there's more! Our newest addition is none other than Eric, the enigmatic divination wizard Jean, a possible child prodigy on a mission to avert the doom of the Chaos Gods. Jean holds secrets that could unravel the very fabric of our story. What mysteries lie beneath the surface? And finally, rounding out our extraordinary crew is Evan, playing the halfling bard with a heart as big as his appetite for churros and donut holes. Webb Winterthorn is his name, and music is a symphony of adventure and part of his game. From catchy tunes to epic quests, he's here to provide the soundtrack to our unforgettable journey. So dear viewers, fasten your armor, sharpen your blades, and prepare to be enchanted by a tale where imagination knows no bounds. Puns are the mightiest spells, and the only limit is the roll of the dice. Welcome to our realm of magic, mystery, and mirth, where heroes rise, villains fall, and the adventure never ends. What's up? So now that we've got the intro out of the way, here we are. Let's just get right into it. Megan will not be with us this week. She is on a business trip to Chicago. Everybody else is here, so let's rock and roll. That being said, I'm going to say Calcine is going to find something to do, so she's going to head off and start exploring around town, trying to figure out exactly what the plan is. So she'll be unavailable. Cool. So we are at the very top of the round here. We're not in combat. We are in the city of Jubilee. City of Jubilee being the capital, the capital of Grenweld. We'd left off with you guys considering what you wanted to do next. You've been employed to deliver, you've been requested to deliver an item to the court of the Elven Kings in Yendel, in the capital city of Yendel. And then we ended up in Jubilee because he had to come here to get that from Vontarian's sister, Vontaria. You've healed her from her maladies. She's feeling much better. And there's a jousting tournament in 2 days that some of you have showed interest in, and there's an entire city you guys haven't really explored, and you're not 100% sure if you're wanted or not in it.
So is it the same day?
I think I think at the end of last time we slept at her mansion.
So it's the next morning.
So yeah, it's going to be the crack of dawn, so we can get as much in here as you guys want. So also,
can I go ahead and equip my oath bow now? Has it been a full day since then?
Well, you have to have an oath bow.
I have it. Well, Bars has it.
No, nobody has it yet.
Oh.
What?
Or did you guys actually get it from him? Because remember he was going to meet you.
We should have gotten it before we left.
Should have probably talked about that.
We would not have left without it.
It's frustrating.
I don't spend 20,000 gold lightly.
He doesn't spend 20 gold lightly.
It's true. I'm trying
No, I
to
spend
see.
20 gold lightly.
Has everybody joined the Sirenscape there? Is everybody good?
It would not let me. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I sent it again in the chat there.
Yes. Very good.
There it goes. Okay. I was going to give you guys a hard time about the bow, but that's fine. I don't want to fight about it, and we skipped talking about the hard time I was going to give you about it. So I guess your 20,000 gold is spent and not completely wasted on this. I'm sad about it, but here we are.
We would have been doing some teleporting otherwise.
We've
And
been
hunting
going
down a
back.
merchant.
Back and forth.
Let's see, we want to do...
Oh, we also re-added a lot of the Rob 2E mods and stuff, so you should double check that you have those loaded in folders, people.
Yeah, because when my computer died and we transferred data, or somehow or another shape or form, we didn't get everything back the way it was. But worse things have happened, so I guess we'll just have to deal.
So did we get the thing from the lady?
The thing? The package?
Mm-hmm.
She was planning on giving that to you right before you guys left, so you're not carrying it around the city.
Smart. What is there for a halfling bard to do in this city?
So Jubilee is the city of music. So whereas there's not much wizarding, and the clerics seem like they've lost their way. The city itself is known for its extensive arts and music situation. They have arts festivals, music festivals. They have Battle of the Bands on a weekly basis at a couple of the different taverns.
What's going on at the Wayward Wagon?
What is going on with the Wayward Wagon? What do you mean? Like what events are happening?
Yeah, Webb went past it. He thought it looked pretty cool.
So the wavering, where did you find
The Wayward Wagon.
the Wayward
Is that a
Wagon?
restaurant? Is that a wagon?
No, the
smith?
Wayward Wagon is the it's another inn. So there's a couple of inns, but the main ones are gonna be, where'd it go? Sorry, the Royal Inn and Tavern is the largest and most expensive. The Daggerboard does have rooms, but it's also known for being for people that are not on the run. The Rowdy Cockatrice and the Rowdy Cockatrice and the Wayward Wagon are both other inns.
Okay.
What kind of a market is the open air market?
It's an open air market.
Yeah, that's good.
The hell. No, so it is
food, like goods.
Yeah, no,
in
so
general?
it's kind of like think like bazaar. Like think like there's tents and there's food, people calling out bread and this and hey, silks, fine silks for a fine lady thing, like just
like
you're wandering around in Agrabah and there's a fucking bunch of stuff for sale, and this is where you are right now. So
I could find an Alibaba sword there.
you could find a scimitar. Is that what you meant? Because that's not what they're called unless you're talking about a scimitar.
That's what Webb calls them.
What's
Okay.
what's
Web
that
wouldn't
shit that he was selling at the beginning of Aladdin? The combination hookah.
call it.
Yeah.
It's something like it's unbreakable, and then it broke. Yeah, that's real.
Okay, so Gene will speak up and he'll be like, I've been studying my book of spells, and I have mastered a spell and I need a component. I must find a miniature platinum sword with a grip and pommel of copper and zinc worth at least 250 gold coins.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I saw 3 of those back at the market.
Hmm?
You need to call a good jeweler. It sounds like. I'll take one of those miniature swords.
Yeah, why
With
not?
250 gold coins, sir.
I think I need some stuff too, actually.
I think we were trying to convince Ontario to go with us and her guards to deliver the package.
package. Is that Arabian or Arabian or
Something.
package? All right, so I'm gonna close this Jubilee out.
We're not actually going to deliver the package, though, are we?
Oh, we're not.
I don't believe. From what I understand, that we don't really know what it does. What did we know about that?
Well, Magvarus, you think it's a package. You don't know. Magvarus failed his insight. Calcine is not sure. Roland knows he's pretty soundly sure that it's some sort of destructive device. Bomb being the wrong word, but a destructive device being more realistically what it is.
It's a weapon.
Some sort of weapon to essentially clean up the elven courts is kind of what the feeling you got.
Does Josara shake it
You guys don't
like a
have it
Christmas
yet.
present?
You guys haven't taken or received it as of yet. But yeah, I reshared the different Jubilee with you. This one's it's a little more, not enough, but it's a little bit better quality. I think it's about as good as we can do for it, though, so it's cool. Looks good.
Well,
go ahead.
Roland, I guess, would like to check out the jousting grounds.
Okay. Yeah, and
I'm
I
gonna
think Calcine had mentioned leaving early this morning to go and look into something she saw in that general direction as well.
I'm gonna let everybody know that like I have a package waiting at the dagger board potentially, but I would like to collect that before we leave, right before we leave.
Oh my lord, Magvarus! I would totally be open to getting that package for you if it's something you'd like to send me with a missive to do. I'd be happy to go get it for you. Anything for you and Lord Max, or Lord Roland. I mean, I'm sorry, he's the Max Lord of them all.
We might decide to do that near the end of our stay here. I don't really want to bother with the dagger board at all until we're ready to leave, because we want to leave quickly.
Okay, and that makes sense. And so he comes down the stairs. So Butters comes down the stairs from wherever he had been put up for the evening, and is probably at the foot of Roland's bed. But he comes down and he's decked out. He's got like some kind of nice, heavy. Was it half or full plate?
It's whatever Magvarus had.
I thought he couldn't wear full plate.
Well, we fixed him. We fixed him.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he gets my full
He's
plate.
got extra full plate, so he's wearing full plate armor. He's got he's kind of like, he waddles down the stairs and like you gadoosh, 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 and it fits him like okay, like he's in it. And he like has to, but he's having struggling going up and down these stairs. But he makes it down. He's got a helmet and everything. He's got a giant ass maul that one of you guys was carrying around, and the armor is a little big on him, and he's still got the stutter, and you're not sure if he's quite comfortable enough in it yet, but he is definitely looking more fightery. It looks like Roland stayed up late into the night teaching him the base stances, because he's ready to smash some watermelons for sure.
I have not figured out how to create him with the sidekick levels, by the way.
Just do it in as a regular PC, except for just edit where he's not supposed to get shit, because like it doesn't really matter as long as his stats and his hit points and his attacks and stuff are right. We'll be fine.
I will do that.
Do we still have all those dirty, rusty spears from the giants and orc ogre things from the mountain?
Didn't you get rid of those back in? Or I think we sold those at one point.
Yeah, we sold them when we went to town. I still have another suit of armor and a couple corpses in my bag from the guards we killed, but
the guards
not in my
or
inventory.
the guards or the whatchamacallits?
The higher level palace guards that came in at the end.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, yeah, and we tried to. Some other people I think grabbed some suits of armor there too, but I'm gonna go to the temple district, check that out.
Okay, so are we gonna be splitting up into doing things? So,
I'm gonna go to the temple district with
Okay.
Magvarus.
Two for the temple
see if
district.
Coppice has got some stuff going on there.
Okay.
I, too, will escort them, for I need to find my sword.
Okay.
I'm going to the market.
Okay. Roland, I think it's just you then. You and Butters.
Okay.
You had mentioned going to 7, going to the jousting arena. That's where Calcine mentioned going before she disappeared early this morning, before you guys even got up. But is that where you want to go, Max? Is that where Roland's going to head?
Yeah.
With Butters, then? Or do you want him to escort your friends to make sure they stay alive? Like, they might die without you near them, so maybe your student should stay with them, or do you want to take him with you?
I'll leave it up to him.
Okay, before you guys leave, Butters says, no, you guys be careful. You know, between the Royal Palace, or the Royal Inn and the jousting arena is gang territory. Lots of thieves. Hold your possessions tight and avoid 8th Street. Especially around the 8th mile.
I would pity anyone that would be as bold as to steal from us. That would be a very unfortunate thing for them.
You know, they say this is the city of music, but I'd always thought it was the city of thieves and gangs. There's like 5 or 6 or even 7 gangs. It's hard to tell them apart because they sometimes eat each other, and you know, one will encompass another. So
Yeah, I think they literally eat each other. I saw a gang called the Sharks when we came in.
I don't know about that. But he essentially advises you guys to be careful in the city, especially if you're wandering off. The streets are very similar to a labyrinth if you don't know where you're going.
Would I be able to ask him for directions to the Temple District? It looks like we're right next to it.
Oh yeah, it's just right there. That one's easy. He like points to go that way, take a right. So his voice breaks like that. Mine doesn't break like that. I grew out of that last week, but Butters' voice breaks like that, you know, all the time.
So I figure we just agree to meet back at Bontaria's estate by the end of the night.
Yeah, I'd let Roland and Butters know. I'll meet you at the jousting ground in an hour or two. I'm going to go to the open air market, and then I'll be there.
Okay, are you going as yourself, or are you going to disguise yourself?
I'll go as myself.
Okay.
Got this new face, you know, looking good. Looking like I'm about to pick flowers, as
All
someone
right.
said.
Are you going to ride your griffin through town?
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember we were advised against like flying
But
in the
not,
city
not
limits.
flying, just like on the
Oh, so you're gonna strut on him? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see his new token?
Yeah, I did. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. We tried to get you to choose it, but you weren't paying attention because you don't Facebook much. Awesome. So who wants to start? I'll let you guys fight amongst yourselves.
Me and Magvaris will go to the temple.
Great suggestion. Let's start with Cameron, the only lady here tonight. We'll go ladies first. So Cameron, you go to the open air market. Let's see. Go ahead and roll a survival check to make it there without getting lost.
Great. Here we go. Oh, I'm pretty good at that.
Oh, if she says she is going to the market, it makes more sense for me to go with her to the market than with them to the temple district.
Okay, well then
Or
roll
I need to
it.
buy a
That's-
book.
You can't not
Yeah.
get a 10 though, so that's actually
That's an 18.
18 to
Yeah.
get from. I think I put her estate like right. Where did I put her estate before?
It's pretty close.
It was like right here, right? No, it wasn't. It was down here. Okay. So to the market then would be. You got 18. That's not bad. Let's see what you do for yours, Eric. Go ahead and roll one as well.
What skill was that?
Survival.
Ability, skills, and survival. Nice even number.
So 15. Okay, so between the two of you, you do manage to get to an area that appears to be some type of market space. There are vendors on every corner. The street is lined with wagons and different vendors and stuff selling. They have like hot meats, they have cold meat, like they have butchered meat, they have sandwiches, they have pickles, there's a guy selling jars.
I'm going
and,
to
like,
get one of
vases.
those.
Pickles in the jaws.
Those guys are next to each other. They're actually
I'm getting
partnered up.
I'm getting how much gold for each one of those things?
Each one, how much are they?
Yeah, I bought a piece of hot meat, I bought a piece of cold meat, I bought a piece of butchered meat, I bought a jar.
And did you get pickles?
4 all the meat.
By the time you spent it all, you spent like 10 silver or 1 gold, but like you have to break it apart, so 10 silver.
Okay, yes, I will spend that eagerly. I'm just like, yes, markets. I love markets.
And sir, did you want a sweet or a dill pickle? I've got the sour or the sweet, your choice.
I'm going to take one of each then, obviously.
It's another silver.
Yeah.
And all the vendors look like the exact same guy. They're all brunette, short-haired brunette dudes with like big bushy mustaches and like aprons on. Every single one of them. They look like the same. I'm just kidding. It's not real, but they should. If this was Pokemon, they'd all be the same.
Okay, so I'm just walking around with my 2 pickles and then my meats, snacking and eating right now.
Okay. And what are you gonna do with the butchered meat? Like you're gonna it's uncooked.
It's probably wrapped in like brown paper.
Yeah, it's wrapped.
I'm just gonna put that in my bag then, I guess, if I can't eat it now.
Okay.
I was excited. The guy, we were buying stuff. There was another guy. He was like, "I got this," and he just handed it to me, and I handed him the silver. And then I was like, "I can't do this now."
So you're just now polishing off. Like you got distracted by your meats and your pickles, and you as you finish those off, you come on like a cheese vendor. A smell of like 6 or 7 different kinds of cheeses waft across the open air market towards you guys. And Jilsara, you see this little kid bouncing back and forth, and he like keeps reaching in and like throwing silver around like it's no tomorrow. Just trying as hard as he can to buy everything in sight and eating stuff. And then someone like a young lady, kind of older, probably at one time relatively attractive human lady, but she's now like kind of getting older. She waves down to you and says, "Ah, a scarf to match your skin, my lady." And she like holds up a couple of scarves, a couple of different shades of green, a couple of different shades of purple to kind of match your skin and hair tones.
And Jilsar goes, "No, thank you. I'm
They're
busy
the
watching
finest
this fool
elven
of a
silk."
lad eating all the food."
I see, but they are the finest silks. I can cut you a very nice bargain.
Green's really not my color.
I had me fooled, of course. If you could both roll perception checks, that would be fantastic. There are other vendors around as well as you guys walk down the market and move through. And if you look at the stream, and I don't know if you have or not, but basically everything I've got up on the stream right now around 9, everything except for that far right side is the open air market. All those streets are just vendors, and all the buildings are actually either wagons or I'm not going to say lean-tos, but pretty relatively unstructured things. Like they're not super well built, but they're made of wood, and they are nicer, but they don't have to necessarily mean that they're there to stay. They can be broken down.
What did we see?
Let's see what you got here. Oh god, Gene's pretty perceptive, and you're not.
And
doing
can we
too
smell
bad.
the cheese? Is it good cheese, or does it smell like I might get sick if I eat this cheese?
All of the cheeses look good except the Fermunda cheese. That one's not a good one. I wouldn't get that, but the rest are pretty good. Definitely check those out. And when you're looking around,
Sarah's a cheese person.
no, that makes sense. Jilsara, cheese, all lines up.
She's a cheesemonger.
There's a pretty good Havarti that you're really drawn to, but
Yes.
excuse me. But you are distracted by the cheese, and as you're being distracted, and he's finishing his last pickle, Gene, you notice there are a number of kids kind of under different tables and under different tents and kind of dipping and zipping between the crowds, and you notice a couple of them definitely lifting purses and pockets, and one of the kids just stole a dagger off of somebody that was like a jeweled dagger and a hair clip.
Well, Jilsara's like really quick, right?
I mean, you're the normal speed. What do you mean?
Is she like? Are the kids like really close to us within arm's reach?
No, like this is like you look down the street and you don't even see him, Jilsara, because you're busy with the cheese and you roll a 21. But his 27 was enough. While you were getting the cheese, he's like licking the final pickle juices off his fingers. He looks up and he notices like a kind of a hodgepodge group of like 4 or 5 kids that look similar to somewhere between 8 and 10 years old that are playing handoff, where like 2 or 3 of them will pick pockets and then hand off to the other 2 or 3.
Seeing them do that, I'll sort of just make sure that all of my stuff is in order. I know where my bag and everything's at.
You reach down to grab where your stuff was, and your hand lands on a small hand, just slightly smaller than yours, as it was trying to grab your pouch. It's a maybe 3.5 foot tall blonde kid with a freckled face, burnt skin, like he's been out in the sun too much, chapped lips, very thin. You think he's human. He looks human. He has rounded ears, and he's just thin. His eyes get kind of big when your hand like lands on top of his right as he was about to try and pull your pouch away. And he just looks up at you with these big, scared eyes.
Would Jelsara see this?
This you do see because it's right next to you. Like, you guys were like, you're looking over to see what you're trying to see what he's seeing. And then he looks down and puts his hand on this hand. This as it happens, and you look over, you see this little shrimpy kid reaching up to take a healthy pouch from the big spender, Jean.
Jelsara would grab the kid by the arm and just get real, like, low down to the ground close to him at his level and be like, kid, this bag here fits little boys like you. It has before. Get away from us.
His eyes get big and he tries to pull his hand away. Do you let him go?
Yeah, shove him away.
But Gene's got his hand on his hand as well. Do you both let him go?
I let him go.
So Jelsara lets him go and pushes him kind of away from you, but you're still holding his hand, so he's either going to get pushed away or he's going to get pushed and pulled at the same time.
Yeah, if she's going to push him away, I will also let him go.
He falls back onto his butt, does like a backward somersault and skids, and then jumps up and starts to run away. Says, "The sharks are gonna fucking kill you!" He yells as he disappears into the crowd.
The sharks, huh?
How is that not a normal reaction? I don't even know what just happened.
He definitely.
I say that to you. I just look up. I'm just like, I don't even know what just happened.
Well, I don't know, but I'm afraid of sharks. So.
I think it might have been metaphorical sharks.
Yeah, you don't know much about the town, so I'll let you guys continue looking around. Maybe think about what you're looking for in the open air market. The open air market is the capital city's open air market, so there is going to be vendors of just about anything you could think of needing to purchase or looking, or if you're trying to trade. I know Gene's looking for a specific jeweled sword of some type. If it's not very big, you might have to have it crafted at like a jeweler or a weaponsmith, depending on.
Hey, whatever I can find, I'm okay with that. I just got to get the ball rolling.
How big does it need to be, and what is it got to be? It's for a spell component?
It's a miniature platinum sword with a grip and pommel of copper and zinc for 250 gold. That's
what, and miniature like hand size, like a dagger, or like miniature.
I imagine it would go on a keychain.
So it's like this big.
Yeah.
It's an expensive keychain.
Yeah.
Trinket size.
Well, you don't want to get locked out of your hero's manor, which you guys can't go back to. All right, yeah, so that sounds good. And then I guess we have another 2-packer of Magvaris and Webb, so I guess I'll go there. And Roland, you get the end of the stick because your second half is an NPC, so it's really still just you.
All right, before we head out, I'm gonna cast let's go with Eagle Splendor on myself as a ritual.
What's it called?
Smart.
A hence ability, Eagle Splendor, so charisma.
Okay.
Magvaris, how you doing? I feel like me and you, we never hang out. Well, just like two of us.
Did you reach your chubby little hand up and grab his hand as you guys start walking?
No, my hand's full of churros.
That's true, it is. Even in your new picture, we got to get this streamlined frame to match, but it'll come. Eric's been working hard, so.
I looked down at his like chubby little figure. I was like, yeah, that might be by design.
Well, it's time for us to have a bottle episode, I think.
Yeah, good. I can't wait.
I mean, it's pretty weird. We started out just like these little bounties and stuff, which I'd been doing for years. Now we're like chasing godstones, and we've been to almost every continent this world has. And I don't know. It's a lot pretty fast. So just wanted to see how you're doing.
I'm good. Very glad with the growth of the church in Summerside, and I look forward to seeing the church here.
Yeah, I bet. You're like a celebrity back in Summerside.
Hopefully less people recognize me here. I don't really want to catch a lot of attention. I'm going to pull the hood over my head so that I can kind of stay incognito.
Yeah, I mean, that's good for me. I'm pretty little, so I can blend into most surroundings. So
As long as you don't walk on your side, you'll be shorter than everybody else for the most part. Since you're starting to get a little thick around the edges, you know.
Well, I've lost a step.
All right, well, so you guys go to leave it together as well, not holding hands, unfortunately. And you guys leave, and you're going to work your way over to the temple district. Go ahead and roll me your survival checks for your temple district, journey. See how you guys pan out there.
Ugh, 7. Ugh.
Shouldn't we have advantage on that since we asked for directions first? I mean, it was like basically in sight.
Oh, is it? It's 4, isn't it? That's the Wayward Wagon.
No, it's 10, the Temple District.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So, there it is. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty close. I can give you guys advantage. It's not. It's literally. There's just walls in the way, so you're gonna have to go around to the entrance itself.
These damn walls.
You guys both start going opposite directions initially. Then you decide to go the same direction for a little bit, and then at a turn, Webb insists to go right, and you insist to go left.
What's Boulder Parchment Shears for it?
I like that. Boulder Parchment Shears it is. Who won?
I was a boulder, so I don't.
Oh, it's a sheer.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys go the wrong way. That's hilarious. So you guys go the wrong way, and you spend half a day wandering the city getting lost. Roll perception checks.
Yes. Perception. I'm good at this.
Just getting lost with my little buddy.
Hey, natural 20.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Magvarus is stumping around, pissed off that you didn't go left when you were supposed to go right. And you can tell he's kind of in a mood because he doesn't normally talk to you much. But ever since your conversation trying to get him to talk and you insisting to go right and not left, he hasn't said a word besides, you occasionally hear him say left, like under his breath. Kind of, he's not trying to be rude to you. He gets it. Like, you're short. Maybe you just saw streets different, you know?
Magmars, I don't know about you, but I don't think this is the right direction.
I like how the temple is right next to where we were, too.
Well, there's a wall there. They gotta find the entrance to, you know?
Walls are hard for halflings.
It's true. It's true. And the real conundrum is that as you're walking and, you notice him saying stuff under his breath, you also notice that there's easily 10 young adults lounging about that you saw 2 blocks ago, but they're now ahead of you and they're lounging to you semi-suspiciously. Webb notices this.
Magvarus, I think we saw these guys a couple blocks. Now they're in front of us. Think they're trying to set us up for something?
Yeah, so likely the miscreants that
we look like easy targets.
I can't imagine that I look like an easy target, but I'm sure you do.
Well, I look like a lot of things.
Yeah, you do.
So I'm going to shove my bag of holding down my breastplate so that it's not hanging off to the side.
I'm going to shove my churros down my breastplate.
You're wearing armor? I didn't know you were wearing armor.
My leather breastplate.
My leather breastplate. Okay. All right. So you definitely noticed them kind of eyeing you guys up. Do you guys? I put you on the map between 5 and 7, down there, kind of in the middle. How do you want to proceed? Up ahead, straight ahead of you is a dead end. You can go left or you can go right. If you're Magvarus could go right and Webb can go left right now. But you could go either way. Let's start with another survival check. Let's do that.
I think I have the wrong map. I think I have the old Jubilee map.
So are they blocking us? Or are we just hanging out?
So the street's pretty packed anyway because it's a big city and people are traveling about doing their things. There's people on palanquins, getting carried around. But then there's these you think maybe 10 kids that are in their teenage years. Probably nobody's older than 20 or 21, 22. But you see, Webb swears he saw them a few blocks back, like kind of almost trying to be casual, like kicking a stone down the way, leaning against a building, talking to each other. Just kind of keeping an eye on you guys. You're pretty sure that you need to go back the way you had been. So like you think if you went left twice, you could start heading back the right direction.
Or we'll just go back the way we came. Like, so we should have gone left there. Let's go back.
Because you kept trying to do that, but then the streets would dead end.
Okay, sure.
So we'll just
so we'll go around. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll go back.
Okay, so you guys start going back. And we can do a perception check again as you guys continue on this route.
31.
Okay.
24.
5 of the 10 young adults do appear to be talking, like playing hacky sack on this corner right up here. Right ahead of you guys. They're playing hacky sack right next to where you guys are about to have to pass. You don't see the other 5
do we pass them?
Yeah, you're gonna have to either pass them. I think you have to keep going straight to get back towards kind of where you think you need to go based on your last survival checks.
I'll call out to them. Hello, youths. Go ahead and kick me that sack. Do I need to make a persuasion check?
Yeah, I think a persuasion check's a good idea. I was just thinking, like, okay, youths.
Are any of these youths of the dwarven variety?
No, they're all like humans, and it's Utes. They're 5 Utes.
30 persuasion.
They seem kind of like put out by you engaging them. They're like, wait, what? A little fat little dwarf guy gonna talk to us? But then, maybe the youngest one kind of, you can almost see the decision in his stance as he's like shrugs. He's like, fuck it, and he like kicks it over to you.
Yes. Now I must kick.
All right, performance. I need a acrobatics and a performance.
Which first?
Oh, let's see if you can hit it with acrobatics because it could be real bad.
16.
Okay, so you at least get under it. You weren't expecting it to come so quickly, but
right.
They've been keeping it alive, and they had a volley going, so it was a pretty good hack and a sack.
Line drive. Okay, I see. And then a performance.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to like make them wow them with your.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna wow the shit right out of them. Here we go. Wowie, 20.
Not too bad. So like you do some breakdance moves and like kick it up, keep it up off the ground, like do a couple of quick like pops and locks and some drops.
Stall it on
it on the back of your butt.
Yeah.
Like like roll it up like you're like roll it and catch it between a pair of like gut rolls.
Yes.
Like you're doing all kinds of different like.
Yes.
Check out this stall, and you're like, floop. Yep, didn't actually touch it with my hands, kids. Like, I know the rules better than you. This is a halfling's game, And like at first, they're definitely put off by the entirety of the scene. They're like, they don't know how to take it because you're pretty sure they had nefarious intent in some shape or form. You had that kind of that.
But I'm actually pretty good at their game.
Yeah, you're better than some of them are. But after you roll it off your like belly and pop it out at them, and it goes back into the group, like they. By that point, they like cheer as it gets back into the party, and you're pretty sure that you may have won over at least these 5 of the potential 10 squadron of kids with your sweet breakdance belly moves and hacky sacking.
Man,
it was the worm that did it.
That was one
of
my favorite games as a kid. Did you ever sack it up?
Oh yeah, I did.
I'm talking to Magbaris.
Oh,
not once.
Oh well, you should really.
Magbar is such a stick in the mud.
Really get after it. I'll teach you sometime.
Great.
We used to play with a pine cone back in the jungle. I don't know. It's not quite the same.
No, yeah, I think that would be very difficult. You seem to be completely used to using a sack, so the pumpkin, I imagine, would be very different.
You guys get past those kids uneventfully, but as you round this corner here, the street does narrow, and the shadows from the large buildings alongside deepen around the area as you traverse through it. And as you get into this, like let's call it an alley, masked individuals in kind of dark clothing block both sides of your escape, and this is like the slowest street in the area. There are 5 of them in total.
Well, that's not good. Magvarsh, you got an idea of what's going on here?
Looks like a robbery to me.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case,
But we
hello.
can't. We can't start attacking them until they attack us.
Oh, I would never dream of it. Plus, I heard that there is a fantastic hacky sack game a few blocks down that you guys might want to partake in.
Shut up,
High-stakes
fatty.
game.
Give us your gold.
And I'll cast mass suggestion on all of them.
Damn it.
Well,
Before you cast it, though, they do say, "Shut up, fatty. Give us all your gold." And then
respond is like, I have literally 0 gold.
because you used it all, didn't
I
you?
just spent all of my gold. You guys have no reason to attack us.
That's true.
We have
Like, sorry,
literally nothing.
if you want all my gold, go take the bow from Jill Sara. She's.
She'll bugger you. So don't do that.
They all
one
fail.
one
succeeds. Okay. Then that
So
is
the
assassin
other
12.
4 are off to the hacky sack game.
Yeah, the other 4 just dip. They're like, "Oh shit, hacky sack." You hear them like, "Yeah, I forgot. They're
Time to
playing
sack,
hacky sack
bro."
down the street. I wanted that side of the gig anyway. Why will you always get stuffed robbing people?" And the 12th one looks on in confusion. He's like, "Fucking wizards!" And he runs off down the other direction.
So good.
Cool. Nice spell.
Thanks.
How long does that last for?
I think forever. Like they just sack the rest
I
of
think
their
it's
life.
24 hours if you
Okay.
don't cast it.
That's gonna be the longest game of hacky. Like they're like you're gonna come back and they're gonna have an award for
Feet
their
are bleeding.
Guinness Book of World Records most longest hacky ever.
Jubilee sack champs.
Yo, but they're still in their masks, like still like they're gonna kill anybody. All right, so eventually, your guys' shenanigans. Let's get one more survival check to see if you guys make it finally. And this is gonna be like noon by the time you guys get there at that point. And you left at like 6.
Natural 20.
So my favorite part about this is last time Webb was super wrong, and Magvarus is right, and you guys got lost. But now you guys are arguing again about which way to go. And Webb's like, "I know for a fact it's this way. I can feel it in my toes. It's a dwarf thing. Don't worry about it." You know, and
You said that last
Magvarus
time.
Well,
Exactly.
do you want a boulder parchment shears again?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Boulder parchment shears. Paper or shear parchment.
Parchment.
Boulder parchment shears. Boulder parchment shears.
It's the same
this
again.
is so good. Boulder parchment shears. Yes, I win again.
Oh my god.
Oh, but
Always
I
use
actually
the
did
shears.
win this time.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
this time was better that you did win. All right, so eventually you guys are able to get to the Temple District's main gate, which is right here. And you get there, and you know I don't know what you guys say to each other as you actually pull up on it after the first time you got you lost and the second time you got you there.
I'm assuming this place is massive, like compared to some of the other temple districts we've seen.
Your assumption is both right and wrong. The other temple district you saw in Summerside had multiple god facilities present, gods facilities of different structures and things all in the one area. This one is a giant, like cathedral-like temple, and you can see the smear marks and the ashed-out husks of where the other buildings in the area have been stomped into praising grounds. There is only one temple here, and it is the temple of the one true God.
Maggie, this definitely is a compass. Is this your guy?
Does not seem to be my jam here. I have 0 interest in visiting this temple.
Yeah, this place is huge.
You guys step into the temple district, and you're like, you see this giant thing. Let me go ahead with a perception check since we're doing it. Oh, and I don't need to. Your passive perception, Webb. You're like, you look down and you see something shining on the ground just beneath the surface of the dirt by one of the burnt out husks.
Ooh, a quarter.
And you pick it up, and it is 100% an emblem of Prorego.
Oh, Maggie, look. It's the same as your shield.
I'm just gonna stand there shocked for about 5 minutes, staring at it. and just look around and see if I can see any remains of the temple.
The temple itself was probably a quarter the size of what this current temple takes up, and it is basically just burnt beams and like structure at this point. There's nothing really left of it. If you go to sift through the ashes and things, you can, but you haven't as of yet. And it may be good, maybe bad. Hard to say if it's better or worse that you did or didn't do it. But as you're like sitting there staring at it, a group of 6 brown-robed individuals with buzz cuts, their hands in their robes, ropes around their waists. They approach. They're like approaching from the main the main temple that's left here, and heading into the out towards the city. But they'll come right next to you. Just a heads up that they're like 25, 30 feet away from you, heading your direction as a squad of 6.
I think we'll just step aside and let them pass. And just decide to say something to them. I'd like to ask them what happened to the Temple of Perego, if they knew anything about it, but I could probably get that information out elsewhere as well, and these people might be hostile. So
Yeah, these guys, they look kind of creepy like this building.
yeah, maybe we would just ignore these people and then go try to find out what happened here.
Yeah, think we should dip or...
Let's dip.
Okay.
All right, let's go for actual perception checks from both of you, and then also we'll move on.
18.
Okay.
$18.
One of the monks or one of the priests or whatever they are, you see, just barely see sticking out the top of it, out of his robe, around his back. You see what appear to be lash marks, as if he's been lashed or something. But you can see kind of almost fresh wounds that have reached up to his shoulders and neck. And then you guys can go ahead and roll your survival checks to work your way back to wherever you're going, or let me know where you're going in a minute. You can text back and forth to decide what you want to do, and let's head over to Max and Roland and Butters, who are heading to the jousting grounds, number 7.
By the way, that Butters PC with the generic token is accurate to all of his features for level 5 warrior.
Okay.
I don't know how to get the fancy token on him though.
I can do it. Here, let me just do it now.
Honestly, I feel like that token looks more like Butters than the Butters token. He's like very Butters theme, like vibe, you know? See it?
I just like that it kind of looks like one of the OG Baldur's Gate tokens from like the 90s.
All right, there we go.
All right, so we're at the jousting grounds.
I need you. You're gonna have to roll as well. Oh no, you have Butters with you. Yes, you get. He takes you. He like walks kind of a strange path to get there, but he does get you there initially with no trouble. They actually have a stable for your griffin that is separate than the horses that you can put it in at the jousting grounds.
Yeah, that's fine. He can go into the stable for a minute.
You go to the stable, and it's going to be 5 silver to keep him there. And the full beard-having, probably 40-something-year-old human guy with a shock of white hair on his head is absolutely shocked and flabbergasted and excited about Oliver. Oh, my goodness, what an animal! What an animal! It's not every day I see such a beast. Is this your pet? Is this your companion?
I suppose companion is the better word.
And which house do you represent, noble knight? I don't see a coat of arms.
I represent Black Star.
Ah, the Lollipop Guild. No, I'm just kidding. Right. Well,
truth be told, I am not noble born, but I was hoping to find some information about the tournament.
Ah, you couldn't have come to a better place. I know all there is to know about all of the knights and the tournament, as I see to all of their horses and other exotic creatures that they bring in, and a finer griffin I have not seen in easily 10 years. Where did you come across such a magnificent steed?
That's closely guarded secret. But I will. What did he say? 5 silver to take care of the griffin.
Yes.
I'll give you 5 gold if you tell me what you know about the tournament and the competitors.
Aha, my not-so-lord. You are much too generous, as I would have told you many of these things you're probably seeking for no cost whatsoever. Firstly and foremost, I've been rude to this point. My name is Ruin Filnarius Rulkin. You can call me Rulk, or Rulkin, or I've gone by Stable Hand most of my life as well. So any of those will work, but who do I have this pleasure of making the acquaintance of? He seems kind of polished for a Stable Hand.
The name is Roland of Blackstar. I hail from Grenweld?
No. Yes, the land down under. We're still in Grenweld.
No, I meant
From the USA.
Summerside. Of course, a lovely city. Not one I've traveled to in over 20 years, but a great place indeed. If I had a beast such as yours as a mount, I surely would. I fear you don't have any barding for your creature, though. How do you stay afoot? How do you stay on it?
Well, you see, we've trained for a long time, and Oliver, my griffin, and I have a special connection, and we're able to fight in sync with each other, and he does not need armor when I ride him.
I want it that way. Sorry, you said in sync. I'm on a roll, you know? It keeps happening. But yeah, all right, well, a noble beast indeed. And what would you ask of Ralkins? That's me, by the way.
I just want to find out what the deal is with the tournament and what the rules are, if one such as myself could enter and compete.
Well, it would not be the first time that someone represented a house on the house's behalf that was not in particular a noble breed. That being said, you would need to find a house that either needed someone to represent them or that would be willing to knight you into their their staff of knights.
So I would need like a sponsor, basically.
That is the easiest way. The downside to the sponsorship is it's mostly just for notoriety and the gold. The hand of the princess would actually go to the house you represent.
Oh, I'm not interested in marrying the princess.
But a finer specimen of lady you've not seen. She pales all other women in comparison to.
Do you have a picture of her?
Huh?
You mean a portrait?
Yeah, portrait.
Fresh out. Say like Pat's like he might. He's like, yeah, fresh out. I don't have a portrait of her, but I've only heard good things. In fact, I've never laid eyes on her, but I've heard that
We do
she's...
have her Tinder profile.
I pulled that up here. Swipe left. Or right.
But what kind of competition is it? What is the format?
So it's a full-on tournament. There will be the main section being the joust, and there is a melee hand-to-hand combat section that you can go to, and there's also an archery section that you can go to as well. So those are the main events. There is also an obstacle course. The main way to, if you win all of them, you can be the entire champion. In order to get the princess's hand, you have to best the majority of the available events.
I'm pretty garbage at archery, I gotta say.
Well, I mean, we can't all be perfect, but it's worth an effort. And there's money in each event, and there's available for every the first, second, and third winner of each.
I am interested in the money.
Of course, money is important. Would you consider selling such a fine beast? I'm sure I could find a buyer for such an exquisite creature.
Oliver's not for sale. He's like a brother to me.
Hey, I respect the work you've put into growing a bond with such a ferocious wild animal. He is absolutely majestic. Is it okay if I feed him? Would he eat fish?
Yes, absolutely.
I will feed him as well, and I appreciate the gold. I truly do, and I'm compensated well for what I do here. And my family has actually ran the stables here at the Joust for the last 30 years. So my father actually trained me everything I know and told me everything. And he passed away a few years back, and I'm the only one left to do it. But is there anything else you wish to know about the tournament?
No, I think you've told me as much as I need to do. No, I guess at this point I just need to find a sponsor.
I agree. If I had any thought that you might win, I would definitely have a preference of who I would have sponsor you if it was up to me, as I don't want to see the princess just wed to anyone.
How could I prove myself as a competitor?
Well, they have some early pre-games going on all the way up until the day of the tournament, where you can it's not necessarily for fun, as there's still some betting going on. The arena is open, though it's been slowed down ever since Lady Vontaria caught sick.
Oh, I heard she's getting better.
Seriously. Roll sense motive.
What do you want me to roll?
Sense motive.
Insight?
Yeah, that's the same thing. That's Pathfinder, I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on.
It's funny because I haven't played Pathfinder in like 3-4 years, and I still have them in my head.
29.
He doesn't. He's definitely uptick by the news. Oh, she is he's not faking his surprise that she's getting better. He's not faking his.
He's genuinely curious about.
He's generally okay with it. Like he's not like upset that she's getting okay. So you don't suspect him of being part of the foul play.
Okay.
He seems like as far as people in the medieval towns go, he seems pretty straightforward. He's happy to do what he does. He's decently compensated. His family's been doing it a long time, and he doesn't necessarily own the stable, but he mans it and answers to someone else.
Oh. So when's the next game?
There's different games on the hour every hour until dawn, from dawn to dusk.
All right. Which way? Point me in yonder direction.
Sure, I'm sure. And he looks over and he sees Butters, and Butters' helmet's on because he didn't want to carry it anymore. And he's like, "Are you both knights?"
Oh, this is my squire, Butters.
Butters, I know a Butters. But it couldn't be him. He's just a hand at the inn.
Oh, that's where I found him, and he seemed like such a promising youth that I thought that I would teach him my knowledge of warcraft.
Incredible!
Weapon.
Is that you, Butters?
Yep.
And Butters yells out, and it echoes in his armor. Yeah, it's me, Ralkins. You know, like inside his echoey big ass armor. So Ralkins is like, holy cow! Well, Butters, well met, young sir. Way to bring your worth up in the world. And you took the 100 gold off to buy his. And you have to go pay. You still have to buy him off. You have to go back to the inn to pay him off at some point.
Oh yeah.
Or you could send him to do it, I guess.
Yeah, I'll take care of that today at some point.
Okay.
I'm gonna just go ahead and mark it off my inventory so I don't forget.
It'll end up being 150 since he's been gone for a day, and they had to tax him for being absent.
Okay.
That's what you get. It's not like you guys spend your money on shit else half the time anyway. Like you guys have like 10,000 gold, be like, it's really 50 gold. I'm not fucking doing that.
Can you go to someone else for a minute?
We're done. You're heading into the gates of there after getting some information from Ralkins. His name's Ruin Filnarius Ralkins, but he'll go by Ralkins.
All right.
All right, cool. Bye, Max. See you later. So we go full circle. Dilsara and Jean in the open air market.
All right. Well, I just threatened a kid, and now we're in danger, so that's good.
Well, yeah, he disappeared into the crowd and ran off around the corner, yelling back something about sharks to you. As he yells it, the crowd kind of backs away from you a bit, and the vendor that you guys are in front of that just offered you silks kind of like closes the curtains on her shop and says, "Thank you anyway," and like shuts the curtain on her shop, trying to not be seen with you. And you guys are just standing there right now, huh?
Do I get my cheese or what?
You can still go get you would have the cheese if you decided to buy some of that Havarti.
I'm gonna be like that. That was ominous.
Agreed.
I feel like are we going to infiltrate these sharks and destroy them from within?
I think we probably need to get back with our group and let them know what happened. And beware of maybe sharks. Seems like a mostly land kind of place. I'm not sure where sharks would live out here.
Okay.
Land sharks.
A bullet.
I mean, I don't know how long it's been at this point, but have we found the mini tiny dagger, the toothpick?
You haven't had much luck finding that so far. You've been looking around for it. There is a jeweler that offered to make it. They were going to charge 500 gold for it. And there's a weaponsmith that said if you bring him the material for it, he would make it for 300.
I'll probably just go to the guy who said he would make it for 500, and I'll be like, I also need like metal rod made with a a metal fork for my other spell that I unlocked. I need a fork, a forked metal rod worth at least 250 gold, attuned to a particular plane of existence. But the material plane is a plane of existence, so I feel like that's just like cheating. Almost.
What spell is it? I don't know.
Plane shift.
Yeah, I think it has to be attuned to a separate plane if you're talking about it. So how do you attune a weapon or an item?
It just says a particular plane of existence. That's all it says.
Planar binding?
Plane shift. Plane shift.
What level is it?
7.
Are we using spell components now? Because I haven't used a spell component ever.
Yeah, we have
for higher level spells. We absolutely are, but like you have to have it for like your diamonds and stuff like that. We definitely.
It's not consumed. I just have to buy one at some point and have it in my inventory so I can use it to cast a spell.
Is it not? Do you not have planar shift on your sheet?
What? It's on the one I sent you. Yes, it's not on my actual character sheet. No,
that's what I'm
probably
looking
not.
for.
I just selected it earlier.
You had 4 other characters play that you could have been doing this.
Well, I track it all in this nice little spreadsheet I made because the tracking the spell usage.
Would Jilsar still have time to find some churros? I'm just thinking about Webb.
Please.
He's probably been snacking this whole time with Magvaras and it's probably annoyed the heck out of him. But we're going to need to feed him and keep them both from getting cranky.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any churro stands?
Just as you're thinking churro stands, you round the corner and you stumble upon the 100% largest competitor of the bakery back in Summerside. But he's got churros, he's got donut holes, he's got cream-filled long johns with chocolate smeared on top. He also sells bagels and bread. He seems like he has a wide variety of different, pastries and breads.
So Jilsar is gonna buy a couple of boxes of some of that. Planning ahead to maybe need to bribe Webb at some point. She's not gonna tell him about all of it at once, but let's get an assortment of some schmear and some sweets and some donut holes.
Okay.
All the things.
You get all the things for like 6, 7 silver, depending on what you want to pay. Like he'll do 6, but if you give him 7, he'll be pleased.
Let's please him.
And
He's pissed off a little kid.
You grab a bunch of stuff. Let's go for some perception checks, as I'm sure you guys are paying attention at this point.
Awesome.
We're just gonna throw some of the posture marks.
Okay, I have both of those spells on my spell sheet now, sir.
Okay, did you roll perception?
I'm going to.
Thanks.
If I can ever remember how to do anything. Okay, here it comes, right there.
Okay. So you guys get a bunch of snacks for later and everything, and as you're doing that, Jasara, you're once again engrossed in the purchasing process. But Gene says, "I think I see that little kid, and he's got two other kids, bigger kids, with him. Oh, and there's two other kids that weren't on the same street or walking this direction. I think we might be surrounded."
Cool.
I don't know if he says that or not, but that's what you notice. So, Gene, you can play that as you would.
Oh, look, those kids are back. More, you brought some friends. How do you want to play it?
Well, we brought them with some of the sweets we just bought. Think they'll want some sweets. You like food. You're a
I
kid.
love food. I was actually considering buying some more myself, but those pickles and that meat kind of upset my stomach.
What's up, kids? How can I help you?
So they're not super close. Which one are you talking to? The little kid and the two, or the other two that you think may be with them?
I think just are they on opposite sides of us?
Yes. So if they're 2 blocks down for the other group, and they're a block left of you guys for the group with the little kid.
Is there any middle street for us to segue to?
I mean, you guys are right next to a street. You can go up or down on towards. You can go towards the 9. I got you on the map too, so you can kind of see them. You can go towards the 9 or away from the 9. If you go left, you're going towards the little kid and his 2 people. If you go right, it's 2 blocks past the street up. So here's the other 2.
Let's just bounce towards the 9. What do you say, Gene?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Okay, so you guys go that way, and then so you're gonna have told the jeweler to make that for you. Then you said you can pick it up tomorrow morning.
Yeah, was he able to make the rod as well?
Sure.
Okay, I got him. What plane did he make? What metal did he have? Where was it from?
So the type of metal is what binds it to a specific plane. Is that right?
It's just all flavor bullshit.
Right. I mean, he's not a wizard. He's a metal crafter. So if you want to bind it to something, you might need a wizard to do that.
Well, no, I just need. Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, I guess I'm confused as to how you make it bound to a specific plane.
Well, because there's it would be just metal from the infernal plane. Would be infernal metal, I guess. I don't know.
Do you have a preference?
It's literally just all flavor, because it's not like having infernal metal let you go to infernal planes. I could have space metal from Egypt, and it would let me go to anywhere else. You know what I'm saying?
I think the point of that spell component is so that the DM can retain control of planar travel, because you can't just pick up those tuning forks just anywhere, because if the DM doesn't want the game to go to hell necessarily, then
literally
that's the way that I would read that.
Yeah. So in that regard, it's all flavor, but I'm less concerned about moving to hell and more just banishing people there.
Okay. I mean, so he can't.
I mean, if you want, I can just pick another spell.
I don't even mind the spell. If you're trying to get that spell component, I don't know how it's going to be bound to somewhere unless you find some metal and have them forge it into it. Does that make sense?
So you're saying that the guy don't have the metal? That's it. That's all you guys say. You said this guy ain't got the metal.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I love you. I'll just buy the one thing then. Let's get it going.
Cool. The kids follow you down the street, though.
Is there a pretty good distance? Do I have time to switch into my disguise?
So disguise, you don't have a hat of disguise. You have a disguise you have to put on. So no, not really. It's literally there are 6 seconds behind you. If you can't,
Okay. That's fine.
Would it help if I disguised myself?
I mean,
take my hat off.
I'm actually
she's
her. Green with purple hair. Now,
Probably not. Let's just pick up the pace.
If she
because
hid
we're
and
gonna
disguised
try-
herself, and you disguised yourself while hiding, and they didn't see you guys do it, you could probably ditch them, because you both have disguising abilities of some sort.
But you're saying that I can't disguise in time.
Not unless you hide. You can't just be walking down the street and pull a mask out and flap it on and expect them not to have seen it. It's hard
Yeah,
to
well, let's turn right and then let's hide. Let's go right here. Let's see if
Alright.
we can hide somewhere and let's disguise.
All right, throw me a stealth
What do you
check
think,
each,
Gene?
if that's the
Let's
plan.
do it. Let's run. Let's make it happen.
So Jean, you and her are walking, and she says, "This way, let's hide." And she dips between two like tents, and you have no idea where the fuck she just went. Like she dipped between there, and the next time you look back, you're like, "Wait, I think she went through here." And you like go to follow after her and roll your stealth check.
I'm not going to do a stealth check.
Okay.
I'm going to grab the brown, oversized robe in my backpack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to throw it on over my red cloak, and I'm going to turn into another person.
Okay. Like just a big human,
Yeah. Medium
Okay.
size.
medium-sized human.
Person.
Okay.
Bill.
Bill
Okay.
shows up. All right. Sounds good. So,
Vampire.
Josara, you're very well hidden.
Moving
Jean, your disguise is irreputably, or infutable. Is that the right word? Infutable.
I'm just someone else now. Do you need me to roll some sort of check to switch into the robe?
Acrobatics.
I can roll stuff.
You're doing
I
it
can
as
roll
you run.
stuff. I never said I was doing it as I ran. That's just
Fine. You need a 10 or better. So yeah, you threw the, you threw the robe
playing
on.
it.
I only did it because you asked me to. All right. You guys managed to
That's
disguise
pretty
and
fair.
hide and disguise. Who did you turn into, Josara? I assume
The old lady.
that's kind of what I thought. Okay. The old lady with not green skin and hair, a black wig and long nose, white skin, stuff like that.
White face.
Yes.
Let's
Got white face on. Cool. You guys managed to hide in things, and you got your.
So
You
was
got
she
your-
watching me as I transformed?
She would have been hiding and going through the tents and putting her disguise on, so she was distracted. So she's not sure who you are now,
Smooth. Then I
and
won't
she
go
can't
through
see
the-
you.
Then I won't describe my methods.
Right.
Good.
Cool. So you guys managed to get away from them, but now you're separated because she's hiding and you don't know what he looks like. So, what's the plan from there? You've ordered your sword keychain thing, and he's gonna make that for you and have it tomorrow morning.
Good deal.
I'm gonna make my way to the jousting grounds.
Where you said you'd meet Roland.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'm gonna need a survival check from you. And what's your plan, Gene?
You know, I was also interested in that jousting tournament, so I'm heading the same way.
Okay, I got a 18 from Josara and a 16 from Gene. It takes you a while, but right around the time that our temple warriors are figuring out that the temple was not the right place to be for them, as their gods have been destroyed in that area. So around noon, you guys make it to there. Let's go ahead and punch over to Magvarus and Webster, the rotund dwarven halfling.
Before the robed figures come over, I'll tell Magvarus about the lash scars I can see on the.
Okay.
I'll ask Webb what he thinks, why he thinks that, or should I roll insight to see if I can?
Yeah, insight, or I don't even accept history or religion, really. Any one of those
Insight.
might give you something.
For both of us, or just Magvarus?
If you have them as a class skill, go for it.
21 for insight.
Insightfully, as a cleric yourself, the only thing you can think of is he's either punished or penance.
Do I know
Uh,
anything about? Yeah, I guess religion might be also important because it might have something to do with that church.
Yeah, I feel like maybe they are maybe part of the other churches, and they've absorbed them into this weird church.
Sure. So religion with a 15. You've heard, but don't remember off the top of your head. Like, you're not a super religious guy. Like when it comes down to it, like you know about religion, but your big thing is Perego, and like life is the gift of Perego, and you cherish that and protect it at all costs. But as far as knowing a bunch about other religions, you kind of dozed off in class that day.
Fair enough. I guess my thing here is like knowing that the Temple of Perego has been destroyed. I would just wonder why I'm not seeing a bunch of sick and injured people hanging out.
You've seen that. The disparity between wealth and poor is huge. Like there's literal beggars on every corner. There's dirty kids running every single street. People are starving and hungry, and the masses are grossly overlooked.
Okay, so then I'm going to since we're near the entrance to the temple district, I'm gonna look for like a beggar or something, and
sure.
I'll kind of roll medicine and see if he needs healing, and if he needs healing, I'll heal him.
Okay, sure. There's a couple of beggars. There's an old man with his dog on the corner. The dog instantly licks your hand. The old man begs for change. Bless you, lords. Please, don't hit me. Just a few coins for some food for the day.
I'll throw 5 silver into his cup and
the dog barks at you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll throw 5 silver and cast.
I'll put in a gold.
Okay. Oh, more than generous, my lords. Please, I beg of you, allow me to shine your shoes as payment for such wonderful, wonderful gifts. I hate being a beggar. It's not what I've ever chose, but the maladies that have forsaken me in life have made it hard for me to stay on my feet all day and work. I used to be the greatest woodworker ever to be seen. I could turn any piece of wood into some sort of statue or gift for you, perhaps, or even just shining your shoes, as I mentioned. I would do for you, my lords, please. And he takes his dirty sleeve and he starts to shine your metal boot, Magvarus, of your adamantine armor. And then he sees webs like Aladdin's slipper, and he's like, I'm not sure how to shine silk, my lord. Perhaps a parcel of mine that I've kept for many years, it means much to me, will repay you for your kindness. And he holds up to you a small wooden dove. It seems to be carved out of pine. And it's the replication of this dove is immaculate. Like, he obviously is a skilled woodworker, or was one before whatever malady has taken him over. Magvarus, what'd you get on medicine?
I got 24.
You're pretty sure he has some kind of autoimmune disorder or disease, because he's talking about how his body would ache a lot and he wouldn't be able to stay on his feet all day, and he used to be a strong and thriving individual, but then as he got older his body started to give up on him. That or arthritis or something like that. He's probably in his 50s. He's kind of scraggly and dirty. He doesn't look like he eats well. He might have gout as well. You're not sure. There's a couple things it could be without examining him thoroughly, but the passing by and what he's said to you so far, there's just a couple of things that come to mind as what might be going wrong with him.
Okay, so I probably can't help him with greater restoration or anything.
What you could do with remove disease as a ritual. Can you cast that as a ritual? I don't even know.
I can cast any spell that I can slot as a ritual, but I don't have that one.
Is that even a thing anymore? It used to be. I could be crazy because I have remove curse. I have detect poison and disease. Do you have that? Can you cast that?
No.
Level 1 divination spell, cleric druid. Let's see. Casting time 1 action, and it can be a ritual. So yeah, you can cast it as a ritual. Just pray for it.
I can cast remove disease. I didn't even know that.
You can cast detect poison or disease.
Okay.
So that'll actually tell you what's wrong with him.
I'll do that then.
Okay. He does not have a disease, but something is wrong with him, and you're not sure what, because it's not a disease and he's not poisoned. But something is messing with his immune system, or his muscular system.
Maggie, you think this is the same thing that was happening to the girl up at the keep?
It seems like a different thing, but I mean, maybe we should try.
I've been sick like this for going on 6-7 years now. I'm not sure which lady at which keep you speak of, but I fear there's no fixing me.
I don't know, man. Worth a shot, maybe, right?
Yeah, why not?
I thought that there was like a remove disease. Like if you could find, there used to be.
There is
right?
a remove disease spell, I think.
Wait.
Getting removed
I
curse.
have something. I have something for this.
Okay.
I do. I promise. Yes. So I have an item called the Periapt of Health.
Parafat, yeah, Parafat.
Yep.
Parafat.
And you're immune to contracting any disease. If you're already infected with a disease, the effects of the disease are suppressed while you wear the pendant. So I'll put it around his neck.
Lesser restoration will cure disease.
Oh, that's what they did. Okay, I'm looking it up. So yeah, remove disease, cures all disease.
It says the condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. Oh, one disease or condition. Okay, yeah, disease works.
Okay, so I
But
guess I think
less
before they
restoration
had the remove disease back in one of the other editions I used to play. I don't know.
I think they've done that with a couple of different spells, like rolled them into one.
Yeah. Okay. So I wasn't completely familiar with that. Okay. Cool. Lesser restoration will work. But once you like detect it, then and since I was just reading on it too. He's got a parasite. There's some kind of a parasite attacking his bloodstream, which then in turn releases something into it and has been harming his muscular structure, so he can't work and be a man all day.
That's freaky.
But lesser restoration apparently works on that because remove disease worked on that in what I was reading. So if that's what it does now, same thing.
Cool.
So and you can only cast spells that say ritual as rituals. I'm pretty sure. Max, back me up here. Is that right?
I was looking at a feat for ritual caster, and
did you do that?
it told me since I didn't take the feat because it says as a cleric I can already cast all of my spells as rituals.
Yeah, that's right. So
wizards can't cast without a ritual caster feat.
Correct.
It has to have the ritual tag though.
Okay.
Wizards and clerics are automatically ritual casters. I don't know if bards are.
So ritual caster as a feat says, let's just look it up.
It just gives you the ability to cast rituals if you don't already have it. Which I don't know which spellcasters are not ritual casters. I feel like most of them
Bard,
are.
cleric, druid, sorcerer, warlock, and wizard all are.
So like half casters, rangers.
They must have the ritual tag.
Yeah. Rangers and paladins.
Yeah. Some fighters maybe.
Okay, but yeah, no, I mean, I'm pretty sure you have to have the word ritual in there in order to cast it as a ritual.
Arcane trickster.
Yes, if it's not tagged as a ritual, it cannot be cast as a ritual.
But that being said, you can cast lesser restoration on him. You're pretty sure it'll cure his malady. So the problem, and here's the problem, from what you're picking up here, Magvarus, as a life cleric in this town where all religions have been stomped out except for this new upstart religion, praising the God on high, the one true God, etc., etc. And you haven't heard much about it besides what I've already told you, but there's been a lot. There might be like an influx of people who are sick they're common diseases that you could probably take care of in normal situations, but they don't have access to divine power because they're like a cult. To you, like you've never heard of this God they speak of.
Are they like a cult, or are they a cult?
They're cult-like. Well, let's be honest. Every religion's a cult, right? So, of some shape or form. Now, whether or not it's like, hey, drink the Kool-Aid cult, or let's all praise together and pass the collection plate cult, or whatever. It's still ultimately a group of people getting together and believing something and continuing to believe it and not listening to other opinions on it half the time. So.
Sure.
Yeah, but you being Magvarus of Perego, you know that Magvarus's divine energies works, as a healer, and you know that Kapis and the nature wizard and Bambara, the goddess of the sea. Honeyball has some good words in the chat for you guys, but Anyway, so you're thinking like there's probably a fair number of citizens that maybe could be healthy working citizens that just don't have access to like divine healing anymore.
Seems like a mistake to burn down the other temples. I'm gonna ask this this gentleman that we just healed. What happened to the Temple of Perego? This could have been this sort of malady could have been fixed easily if it still stood.
His eyes get wide after you've healed him, and he says, "My hands, where they were aching and numb, I could barely move them, and now they're still a little stiff, but there's no true malady left in them. What did you do, and how did such a miracle happen? Praise the one God. Praise the Lord on high. He's finally seen right to bless me to free me from this malady. I've been praying to him for so long. I'm glad that he finally answered. So many have gone unanswered, for they must not have been worthy. Am I truly worthy? Is it I? Am I the one of your sheep that you've chosen to?"
No, you're not. That wasn't the one guy. It was his guy.
What do you mean? Are you saying? I've been cured by one of the old ways gods? The gods of the old ways?
Yeah.
But they've left us. The head priest, he said many a time at many a sermon about the way that we've been left and abandoned by those from the olden times. And now you're telling me that is who's healed me today?
You tell me. Look at your hands there, Brainiac, and tell me what you think.
My name is Mark, not Brainiac, but I appreciate you insinuating that I am very smart, and I do hope you enjoy the dove. Truly, is there anything I can do for you, gentlemen? I could go back to the mill. I could even eventually open up my wood shop again.
Yeah, I do need. Can you make me some bowls? I need a nice set of bowls.
Of course, whatever you'd like. What
special bowls?
Do you have a preference for wood? Are you going to be smoking out of the bowl, or is it something you're going to eat out of?
No. Well, yes, I'm going to be eating out of the bowl, but I need some divots, I guess. I'm going to put some gems in there, make it like a really cool looking bowl. I didn't need a set of them, if you can. So
a set of how many is a set for?
Like a maple or a poplar,
Yes.
Something durable.
I'll of course have to find wood to do this. It might take me a few weeks to get enough money together to buy the wood to do this for you.
Oh, here's some money for your wood.
His eyes once again get big. He says, bear in mind, gentlemen, you've done me a great favor, my lords, and you've put me back on the market to work, and I appreciate you beyond all belief, but I must do you a small favor and tell you to keep your mouths down about the old gods. They're not looked upon favorably here. The priests of the new way have come, and they've had much to say in regards to the way things have gone and are coming to be, and there was a large battle in which they stomped out all of the old gods, claiming them as false prophets and evil powerful wizards and just false gods in general. So perhaps I see what has happened here, and if you say that this Perego,
Sure. God of light.
Yes, Perego. If you say this Perego who healed me, then I truly will repent and believe in the old ways once again. But I fear that mentioning them here is not the way, as they may take to chasing you out of town, or worse, seeing you to an early grave.
Well, that's fine. I'll just. Do you need more for the wood?
Of course, I can't get wood without help.
Here to assist.
And now, if only I had a place to put this wood so I could work it.
Well, you're gonna need to find.
I'm gonna have to find a shop.
Phrasing.
Do you happen to have a knife? I don't even carry a knife anymore. I had to sell it for a meal.
Pull out this like normal dagger that I've never used.
Not normal knife. A dagger just pokes stuff. Knife can slice.
Sure.
But he'll take your little pocket knife. Like, more than adequate for a man such as me. And you could tell, like, you guys have blown life back into this guy. Like, he's all about wood now, and he's like super healthy. And he's still dirty.
He's all about Perego.
He's definitely has a little Perego in him. He's open to other stuff, but Perego for now is fine. And he's definitely happy to see you. He said, "Well, where can I call upon you, my lords, to bring your bowls? And you wish for 4 or 6 or 8 or how many bowls?"
Set of 5, please.
Just 5. There's 6 of you guys. Is it for you guys?
No, that's fine.
Set of
Set of
5.
five.
Keep one short. Fuck Gene. He's due.
I
and
don't see no 10-star, boy.
and Butters be damned. You know, like 7 of you've got Butters, and don't forget a big bowl for the Griffin. You know, like you're really kind of a dirtbag, but that's okay. He says, "Yeah, it's just where can I call upon you, my lords, to bring these 5
don't
bowls?"
worry, I'll find you.
Okay, I trust that you will. You seem to know your way around things. I'm sure you never get lost in the labyrinth.
I'm gonna start laughing as he's saying this.
Oh,
May your
practically
Lord
know
guide
this
your
place
way.
like the back of my hand.
And do you happen to have the jewels that you wish to embed in there so I can
I'll
carve
take
them
care
in?
of that. You just leave the divots in there. I'll get them.
Well, I need to know how big a divot to leave, and
You just make a few divots all the way around, and I'll fit them in there.
As you wish, my lord. Is there anything else I can be of service to you for? And he shines the other boot for Magvarus briefly, and he like kind of looks again at yours and stops himself like, "Oh yeah, it's an Aladdin shoe. Like no big deal." Sultan Webster. But yeah. So is there anything else he can do for you guys?
Nope.
And what's
I
next
Well,
plan
it
for
sounds
you?
like we got everything we need. Yeah, I'll kind of leave that up to Web. I mean, it's pretty much all I needed to know. We're not gonna find the temple here. There's probably people here have turned their back on Parego, so I want nothing to do with them.
Well, did you say that at all, or no? Or that's just
No,
how you be feeling?
it's my inner dialogue.
So you're not a converter. You're more of a like they're not into it. Fuck them, I'm out. Like okay,
Yeah.
all right. I'm glad to hear that. That's good
If
to
they do
know.
not worship the Lord of Life, then they will
Well,
die.
now here's
probably.
the thing: the Lord of Life is not allowed to be worshipped here. This is what it sounds like. So this temple of people that that are worshiping this strange the new way. They're going the new way is what they call it, the Church of the New Way. They stomped out literally 10 other churches. They've killed potentially, or at least captured priests of your order and possibly others. So how you take that is up to you, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have an army for a crusade, so we'll probably have to go back to Summerside once our names are cleared, or maybe Yendol. I don't know. But
An army or one fantastical dwarf halfling best friend.
He reaches up and puts his sticky mitt in your hand. Fear not, Magvarus. It is I, Webster, of the Winterthorns. I carry churros and love.
I'm just gonna like pat him on the head and just be like, "You are useful every once in a while, but I don't really see how we can do much here."
You you pat him and his toupee kind of slides a little bit.
Webb has got a little extra pep in his step now.
You're like running out of toupee glue. You got to get some more.
It's just sap.
It's what's funny is everybody else calls it a
My
toupee. You
hand
call it
comes
an
away
HRU.
sticky. Like, oh my god, why did I do that?
Webb calls it the HRU, his hair replacement unit.
Yes.
All right, cool. So we'll shimmy on past then back to Max and Butters.
Okay.
So you guys
So I
enter
guess
in, right?
yeah, we're going in to check things out.
All right, you enter in, and this is a pretty long and wide building. So if you're on Fantasy Grounds and you look at where you are, you can see it's a pretty big building. There's stands all around it. There's box seating up higher even, and there's a circle area. Inside the circle area, there's 6 groups of individuals paired off doing different kinds of combat. There's shield and sword combat. There's two-handed weapon combat. There's 2 weapon combat, and there's basically each kind of like regular melee combat you could think of. There's at least one of each of those, and then a couple of extras where people are squaring off for different kinds of fighting styles. And then there's also right now, since jousting isn't happening today, that's just the main day. The whole aisle or the tracks that they do the jousts on has been set up for 6 archery targets are set up, and there's archers lined up taking shots.
Can I tell if there is an official or
Yeah,
someone
there's a number of people in the crowd too, already here to watch and kind of liking it and things. Most of the people in here are well dressed. You do see a gentleman in black livery with kind of like opal gems around the collar. and like a funky like feathered hat, and like he looks pompous with the tights and like the poofy pants and all. Like he almost doesn't quite have the Sultan shoes that Webb has, but he's pretty close. And he's kind of overseeing the fighting arena. And then there's another one dressed similarly that looks just as pompous in the same, looks like kind of like a uniform of some sort. And there's only just the two of them. And one is watching the archery, the other is watching the events in the fighting area.
Okay. I guess we'll go up into the stands for now since an event is already going on. And kind of sit down next to a local and be like, how are the fights today?
So you sit down next to a local. They're very well dressed. They're eating they're eating out of a bag of churro rolls. And they're eating them. They're right up Webb's alley. And it's a kind of heavier set, older couple in their finery. And they say, as to be expected, the real players don't really show up until closer to the actual day of the tournament itself, for they won't waste their energy on these lower rungs. But anyone who wants to battle without a noble family backing them, if they were to win, say the champion rounds of pre-trial combat, then that's one way they could see their way on. So sometimes we get some scragglers, but most of them are either killed or sent away rather quickly.
And do you know who I talked to sign up?
Oh, one of those, are you?
I'm something of a fighter myself.
Is that so? Oh. Well, you could see one in the black livery there, and see if there's still room. It's a bit late in the day. Well, no, it's not, because you got there on time and haven't spent that long. So it's only like 10 o'clock for you, 9 or 10 o'clock for you, because you're the only one that didn't get lost or moved around or
yeah, because Butters took me right there.
Yeah, because you took the guide with you. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think you're running a little late, but I think I think that you could probably still maybe catch the tail end of the last of the fights if you wanted. Are you and your companion both joining? Should we place money on you? Is this something that you feel pretty confident you'll win some battle?
Oh, I'll definitely walk away with the prize today. Butters here is he's still in training, so I can't say how well he will do. I mean, I've trained him myself, so I've showed him a few things, but I don't know the caliber of the fighters here. But
sure, well, there's many kinds that come this way.
So I think we're gonna wait until it looks like one of the officials is not too busy, and then try to approach him.
What do you go by, young warrior, so that we can perhaps wager on you?
Roland of Black Star.
Roll insight. And also, Mike, just so you know, if you've been watching religiously like you're supposed to, you would know that I've already made mention of the wizards in this area and why they're not here. Fight. I'm just kidding.
Did you say insight?
Yes. To get a feel for what they're thinking, Yeah, so they seem interested for sure in like, hey, what's your name? What are you doing? But when you say Roland of Black Star, recognition crosses the man's face.
I'm gonna blow our cover.
at Black Star, like he doesn't. Roland, he didn't know anything about, but as soon as he said Black Star, his eyes got wide, not with fear necessarily, but like they got wide, like holy shit, Black Star. Like, it may have traveled. I mean, it's just Grenweld. You guys are from Grenweld, and Summerside may be your home, but Black Star is a notorious, or well-known, at least, mercenary clique.
Ah, so you've heard of the great Roland, then?
Roland, not so much. I wasn't aware of a Roland in Black Star. I'm aware of the mighty Calcine, the Fire Fist, they call her. And I guess she even has a group of... Are you part of the Calcination?
Oh, the Calcination. Yes, I'm familiar with it.
Very well, yeah. So then I am familiar with the Calcination and the fire-fisted Calcine. I've heard she's done great things in the arena. Will she be partaking in the battles? She doesn't sound as a knight. You two look the part, but from all intents I've heard, she's a Merzanthian barbarian.
Yeah, I can't say if she's interested in the tournament or not. Not sure what she's up to right now. I haven't seen her around this morning.
Okay. Well, with a name like Blackstar as part of your honorific title, I will definitely be placing a small wager on you winning. So don't let me down. As I'm taking you at face value on this, young sir.
I'm not that young, by the way. I'm like 55 years old.
Yeah, but they're humans, and you look like you're 20.
Okay, so can we get into a fight today? Is that going to happen?
Yeah, so you're gonna head over to the guy in the liveries or whatever once he seems not very busy. So you walk over to him. Think like a skinny guy with a gut, like a skinny guy with a beer belly, and he's got like a really pencil thin mustache and like he's got the hair around the back and the sides of his head, but none on top, kind of like I would if I grew it out. And he's got like that stupid feathery hat over it, so you really can't see that anyway. But he does take the hat off to wipe his brow occasionally. And you walk up to him, and he said, that's the kind of guy he is. That's like the noise that they make when they're who they are. No, you're all right, Mike. I mentioned it, I think, last week anyway. Just the Nomenclature Institute is the hub of all wizardry in Grenweld, and most wizards just stay away from Jubilee because there's not even a tower of high sorcery here of any kind. But yeah, so you go up to the guy, and he seems to stay pretty intent on the matches, keeping an eye out for foul play and cheating and things like that. But when you come up to you, when he comes up to you, or when you go up to him and you say, "So can I get in a match?" He says, "Yes, of course. There's still room for up to 3 or 4 more fighters. I think they'll have to wait until this round is over, and then go see my cohort over there. He has the sign-in book."
Okay. Thanks.
But he sounded pretty confident that there's still 3 or 4 spots left to join because there's another couple rounds today. I mean, they go from dawn to dusk, so you would fight later this afternoon probably based on that.
All right. Well, I do intend to sign up. Otherwise, I'll probably just chill in the stands and maybe get a snack. And
Butters, as you guys go get a snack and go to the stands, Butters says, "Well, you think I should get in here and do this too? Should I try my first time?"
Can I get, like, before I advise him, can I have I gotten an impression of like how good the fighters are in the
Butters' level is most of what's out there right now. About his like at where we have him, not where he was when you met him, like where he's sitting.
Okay. So it would be like kind of an even match.
Yeah, and you're gonna fight higher level dudes than what's out there now. Like I'm gonna make it hard. But,
okay. I'm gonna encourage Butters to sign up.
Okay. Yeah. You think it'll be a good experience? So yeah, he's gonna sign up for he'll sign up for the great weapon fighting battle because he's got that maul and the armor, so he's gonna try it out. Cool. All right, and that's everybody, right? We went around twice. Everybody got to do things. Most of you have made it back at this point to. Looks like Josar and Jean made it here. And then what about Magvarus? And I guess where were you guys going, Webb and Magvarus, after the bum, the woodworker? What did I say his name was? Marvin?
We hit the temple, right? So we kind of did our thing there.
Yeah, what was the woodworker's name? Mark.
No, not Brainiac.
Mark Brainiac. Okay. Gotta keep notes. And then what was the plan there? Are you guys going to head to the...
That was as far as Webb's plan.
Yeah, I think we're actually planning on going back to the manor, but we really didn't get anything done. So, I don't know. I guess I'll ask Webb. Like, do you want to go see if they're still at the jousting grounds since we didn't really do anything, or do you want to go back to the manor?
I was thinking that or the brothels here, whichever you prefer. Well, not. I know. Don't give me that look.
They have the best baked goods.
No, you get a lot of good intel from the brothels there.
That's true.
It's not all about the show.
I did it all for the.
Did it all for the intel.
Yeah, that's right.
So, what do you think?
I have no interest in taking my armor off, so.
I didn't say you had to do that. Oh my gosh.
There's a
it's
flap for that.
Here's your P flap.
You just have to remove the cod piece.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Chink,
like,
chink, you know, pop.
easy.
like a can of
2
Coke.
clips and we're ready to jam.
It's like a can of Coke.
So what do you think? You think we could get some info there about the temples, kind of what's going on? And,
I mean, you definitely could go and try and
It
see if you could
sounds.
find one that.
like, if anyone's going to tell us stuff, it's going to be there.
I think we have enough information. Like the
Alright.
temples were destroyed and burned down.
Well, if you're like cohorts here in this city, you know, we're like beaten and prison stuff, you know, we could try to help them. That's your call, though. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. If you think we can get information about that. I
To the
mean,
Rollo! The priest
Great.
and the bard.
This is a great plan.
Roland's gonna be mad he
Really
missed
good.
this one. Not really.
I'm gonna
He's
pull
already
the
got 7
hood like
kids,
farther
and-
up over my head to make sure like no one sees me enter this place.
Roland's summer in Morzanth back 20 years ago, he made 12 kids, so like it was a whole thing. He doesn't know about any of their existence, but like there's, 12 quarter elves running around. I don't know if that's true. I just made it up for you. It's just like Webster being Webb's name.
Right.
New canon you guys didn't agree to. Anyhow, yeah. So that's you guys wandering around, and you did accomplish stuff, Tim. Let's be fair. You learned more about the stupid church that is, and your church brothers that have been either captured or squandered or killed. You learned some stuff about the town. You're learning more about why there's so many sick and injured people around because there's no true healers around to help.
We learned that Webb can hack.
And we learned that Webb is quite good at the worm and can hack, and he's quite the break dancer as well. And then, Gene and Josara did some shopping. They headed back. You guys will get to the jousting arena just at the same, like basically the time that Roland's going to go in for his first bout. And same with Butters as well, which I don't think we'll do tonight. I think we'll save that because when we get back, I think Calcine will fight too. I assume. Because the pre-fights are open to more than just knights, so you don't have to have a crest to go in. Because the champion of that gets to go into the main tournament.
It's a qualifier.
Exactly. There's qualifying going on. There's some knights that don't have to qualify in the same right. There is a day of qualifications of everybody who's already in the actual tournament. So it's a different section.
I'm guessing they're not going to let me cast spells, right?
Right. It's all melee all day.
Okay.
But if it's on yourself, I mean, who's to know? And this is not a wizarding and cleric-y type town at this point, so hard to say if they're even going to realize it's happening. But maybe they are.
They might notice greater invisibility though.
They would notice greater invisibility. I think that's one.
They might not notice command. It's just a spoken command.
Right. Kneel before me. That's funny.
I'm going to use Finger of Death, but I'm definitely going to use Deception to lie about it afterwards. Be like, nope, coincidence. I don't know.
Okay. So I know today was so far we got 12 minutes left before 11, but I know today was awfully lots of fact finding and just kind of delving around the new city and stuff. But I kind of expected that. I hope you guys weren't expecting a huge brawl. I did try to get you guys into 2 different fights, 2 different times that you all basically avoided one shape, way, or form. So, I did try to throw a little action at you, and I could totally just do Max's thing, but I'm gonna populate the turn. I need to get a map for the tournament grounds, and then we'll do that with at least the Squire and Roland.
Did I get my oath bow?
Yeah, you have your oath bow. We
see it.
discussed that because Tim was going to yell at me about $20,000 for probably 6 different sessions, or he might not ever let it go if I hadn't. But that old man was totally going to rob that from you guys, and I forgot to do the commentary where he never showed up with it. But since I didn't do it at the right time, I'm allowing it to just be the next time you guys make a stupid decision. Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
We made it. So I mean, I'm opening up to questions of where you guys are. I know you guys are going to get to the tournament. Cam, you and Eric get to the tournament with Gene and Josara right around the noon mark, give or take.
You said there was something about archery. What? I missed the beginning part of that.
There's an entire archery section that you can sign up for if there's still slots open for it. And there is a cash prize for winning it, but if you don't win the majority of the different parts of the different things going on, because there's 2-weapon fighting, there's shielded weapon fighting, there's double-handed weapon fighting, and then there's archery, and then there's single weapon combat with no shield, and if you have to win the majority of your contests in each of those categories to really win the championship to get to do it without any backing.
Okay.
But you could do just one and win it and take the cash, and it won't matter. You just won't qualify for the actual jousting part.
Sure.
Well, can you tell me those categories one more time?
Sword and shield, 2 swords, 1 giant greater weapon, 1 single-handed weapon.
Okay, and will they let me use my own weapons, or do they provide the weapons?
They're all standard in the pit, so they have a stash of weapons per each.
Okay.
Because they're trying to cut out the ability of people to use like artifacts or magic weapons.
Yeah.
I know that's a damper on the fun, but it's not. I mean, it is life or death, but the aim is not to kill each other necessarily. But depending on who you're fighting, they might not really follow those rules.
Right.
And there's not a lot of people in town that can bring anybody back or even heal a normal wound at this point. So. Interesting.
Surprise.
Right. I mean, there are people in town that probably can, but as far as actual citizens of town, or priests and things, they obviously have no skill at healing magically anymore because the New Way religion has stamped a lot of that out. And it's an interesting thing, and you guys can completely ignore it, and this city can go to shit, and they can try and take over the rest of Grandworld if you guys want, but and then move out from there and take over the world with their new order, or you guys could stop it in its tracks at the source, if this is the source. I don't know. You guys have some options. I did give you a lot of information and stuff that you guys could take either way in character. I think personally, if I was a cleric of Perego and my brethren had been, stomped into the ground by anybody, I would have had something to say about their lives being extinguished if that's the case. And if I was a rogue and a Jean, I would probably have some words to say about possibly getting attacked and robbed in the street. I wouldn't be happy about that. And if I was a Web Winterthorn, when you just tasted those pastries from here, when you get them from her, I would be upset because they didn't use enough cinnamon, and they're just not nearly as good as the ones in
thrown in the stockades for that.
Right. Well, I'm just saying they're not nearly as good as the ones that are in Summerside. So you might maybe try and buy this one out and turn this into a franchise of your guys' bakery back there to make sure that quality baked goods are getting served all through.
Follow me on this. If we can get me the rod, I will literally send the baker to hell.
Or you could teach him a better recipe after you buy him out.
Or we could do that. Either way, it's one or the other.
Just we could just set up shop as healers. There's a standard formula for how much spells should cost. How many spell slots do you have, Tim?
Oh,
a lot, right?
Yeah, a lot.
You get some back after a long rest. I'd love to have
I don't
you
really
guys...
want to draw that much attention to myself.
I was gonna say I'd love to have you guys heal entire crowds for 8 hours. Use all your spell slots and then get attacked by the monk.
Because that's exactly what's going to happen.
Meanwhile, Roland is yeah, I'm from Blackstar. What? Yeah, what's up?
Totally just letting it go.
Calcine, yeah, she's in town. I haven't seen her today, but
I was hoping you guys would all get together so I could tell you a little bit about something about Calcine, but it seems like a couple of you are still wandering around, going to brothels and stuff.
That's Web.
Just here for the articles.
Let's get that over with, though, so we can all be together when Megan shows up next week. We can all be at the same place, so we can actually try and stay together and get more accomplished. Hello, Kitty. Hello, child cat.
Look,
so
is that
you guys,
me?
that's a baby.
Character form?
No, sorry, I was talking to the cat. Max had a cat, and I like them. But yeah, so you guys get to what you think is a brothel. It's kind of a rundown bar. There doesn't appear to be much going on there. There's a few common worker type dudes in there that they have moderate dress on. Looks like they're paying for the workers to do their deeds, done dirt cheap. And there's a madame that is behind the main bar counter. When you go in and sit at her bar, she with a kind of husky voice is like, "Well, hello, gentlemen. Welcome to my establishment. Is there a particular fancy that you are here to fill?"
How big's your Adam's apple?
Lovely
It's
place.
pretty big.
She had hands like Andre the Giant.
She did.
Lovely establishment you have here.
Thank you. I've worked it my whole life.
Well, if I must say so myself, I'm very excited to see what the madam has in store.
Well, is there?
Fan of a House of Lady Favors?
Yes, of course. Is there some particular type of treat you're looking to take on? I mean, is there is there a fancy you wish filled more than another, or I mean, how may we be of service to you here at the Lucky Panty?
Well, so lucky. So lucky. Well, I don't know. Do you have like a roster or a starting lineup we could take a look at?
This is not a sports arena. It's we fill desires here, and it's all
Sure.
with enough preparation we can always find the answer to your need.
Who has been in your employ the longest?
Why, that would be me.
Oh, well. Straight to
She's
the
like
top.
a 6.5-foot tall, like
Yes.
290-pound, full-figured, lovely lady.
And I suppose you're probably booked for the evening, right?
I just had an opening for someone
Oh.
of your stature just
Wow.
now, and she definitely has an Adam's apple. No big
Yes.
deal.
Webb does not care. Can I see if Webb notices that?
Sure.
Perception.
Just so we're all on the same page, Cam made this Adam apple a thing. So
Roll
I didn't,
for Adam's
I didn't have
apple.
that planned, but
25.
Cam added that in. Yeah, no, you definitely see that and the hairy tops of her hands. She forgot to
Okay.
wax those this month.
Yep. Webb is unaffected by that.
Well, he should be. He's a bard. He loves all types. He's
moving-
non-judgmental, as am I.
Moving
and
forward.
as is our way. Max, when I'm looking at you right now, I look at you and I see like the top of your head, and I think of talking to a 15-year-old on FaceTime. Because that's how they
No,
are.
it's-
They're always like this. Like,
I was just petting the cat.
you're fine. It was just funny. I fixed Evan. But anyway, so Lady Mystera, the owner of the Lucky Panty, happy to take you under her wing.
And who has been in your employ the second longest?
For your friend, I imagine.
Well, yes.
My sister, Lady Mystera.
Mr. Does Mr. have a
100%.
Joey's apple?
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
It's Mystera and Mastera. Or wait, Mystera and Mystera.
Is she bigger than Magvaris?
Oh no, she's like your size. Like they're opposites.
okay.
Like my sister is a loose term, like lady in arms kind of thing. But yeah, so she's like 5.5 feet tall, not quite 6.5. She sees almost eye to eye with Magvaris, and
Nice.
but she's a nice sized lady too, ready to rock. To let you know, so what can we do for you, gentlemen? I mean, like you're here. Do you have are you just common questions? Do you have common desires, or do you looking
Well,
for
we're new in
anything
town.
special?
Just want to take in all that Jubilee has to offer, and we were recommended to come stop by because this place has the best souvenirs to leave with.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that we were on the map like that. But absolutely, no, you're 100% welcome here, and we will do everything in our power to make your stay as lovely as possible.
Lead the way.
All right. Well, she leads you back to a dirty room with a straw bed.
I look back at Magvaris and give him the biggest exaggerated wink, and then a finger guns.
Magvaris, you're left with Mr.
I'm just staring daggers at Webb, like, what did you just get us into?
Yes, so
You get
good.
quite a bit for a mere 50 gold. You know what I mean?
Is that all?
Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
Should have booked them both.
I don't know if Magvaris is gonna take her up on her side of things. So I'm kind of waiting to find out what he says because she's standing there like, "Shall we go this way, my lord?"
Yes, let's find a quiet place to talk because that's all we'll be doing.
You'd be surprised how many men just want to talk. I fear their wives and their mothers never truly listened. She says with a nice deep apple bobbing up and down, you know.
I can think of several people like that staring back at Webb.
Oh, Webb's fully in the room now. Door
Yeah.
goes, you know, shuts. So we'll leave it at that. Webb and Magvaris are now in the dirty straw mat rooms in the Lucky Panty with Miss Stura and Miss Stara, the sisters in arms here at the Lucky Panty. We have Jean the Changeling and Jilsara Hawk and Roland the hopefully soon to be knight, and maybe Calcine chilling around the arena of the jousting tournament. It's going to be held in 2 days' time. And that's where we'll pick up next week as we dig deeper into this world that is here for all of you.
Cool.
And as I did before, I'm gonna leave the stream go as we wind down, and leave as you're ready to leave. But if you guys want to just chit chat or talk about favorites or least favorite parts or just normal work of the game, or you have any other questions, I'll still answer them. I'm just not driving forward as much. So
Trying to figure out my attack bonus on a longbow. It's not great.
yeah, I'm sure it's actually quite awful.
I mean, it's basically all proficiency bonus, so it's a +5.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's still, it's awful compared to your +12 or whatever it is. Right? So
I'm trying to find a discreet way to be like, hey, I am also good at deception and transforming into things, but it's like I can't just be like, look at me do all this stuff.
right. Oh yeah, no, and she didn't even see you change into someone else. Like she didn't even see it.
I know, I tried. I was like, did she see me do that? And you're like,
Yeah, she's literally between the tents, like pulling on a mask and like fixing her black, scraggly old lady hair.
She does not know Bill. She has no idea who Bill is.
And you're not even sure where Jean went at this point. You guys have got separated in the market, but you both were heading the same direction, right? Like over
I
to.
mean, wouldn't you come out and been like, Gene, hey.
I mean, you could have been. I mean, if that's what you did, is that what you did? If you hear her going,
so.
Jean, Jean, as an old lady, I mean, would you appear and be like, it's me, Jean?
He's a good boy.
Does anybody besides
yeah, I think I'd walk up. I'd be like, I'm right here.
does anybody besides Webb play an instrument?
No, I don't think so.
Play the bow.
I think maybe Calcine got an instrument, but I could be wrong. Definitely
My bow
just Webb.
sings.
I think
Next
it would be
time.
cool if we got the occasional jam session going.
This is the city of music, so that's a thing. I will say too, if you guys all end up dead here sooner than later, we'll play a 6 bard game,
Yes.
like
I
the
feel
traveling
like
traveling
Magvaris would be
troupe.
qualified to do percussion.
That's when I'll bring out my my secret weapon, the bard who plays the hurdy-gurdy.
Gotta have the hurdy-gurts.
Like it.
I'm really excited that Magvaris went to the brothel with you.
So much bonding happening.
Oh, the whole episode.
I know. Well, he did not take the sticky finger hand though. That was sad for me.
It's like when you watch a show and like your two characters you like, but they never interact with each other, and it's like, oh, it's happening.
I'm actually surprised that he even went to it, even though you like kind of talked him into it. You're like, well, I mean, there's a lot of information that passes through those sheets. I mean, those streets.
I was very persuasive.
Yeah.
It's the last time that I take his word for it.
Well, I
Unless
mean,
he
you
gives
still-
good information.
You can still talk. 50 gold. You could talk for the hour. You know.
Yeah.
Ready?
That's
Alright, I'm gonna
great.
bounce.
All right. I think that's
See you
what we have.
guys.
Bye.
Sounds like that's it. Cam started the train. Everybody's leaving, but hey guys, thanks again for stopping by and playing. Thanks for watching. If you are, make sure you follow on here. Slide over.